Hi everyone, we on with the Wendy's here, Lance and Flo, and the day has came. It's perfect timing. We're out boondocking, dry camping in Quartzsite, Arizona. It's super quiet here. So we are going to give you an interior and exterior tour of our 2023 Host Mammoth camper.
11.6.
Yes, a lot of people have been asking us, and we apologize for the delay. But we have had a lot going on, doing upgrades, moving, downsizing.
We went from a 42-foot fifth wheel to this, for those that haven't been watching us.
So we are going to take you along on this tour.
There's the outside. We'll come back out and do a walk around outside too.
All right, this is our side entry door coming in to our home on wheels. And it's not really wheels, it's on the back of our truck. We have a 1-ton Dodge Dually. So this is our living room, kitchen, desk area for Lance. So we're going to start with Lance's desk. Originally this came with a 2-seater sofa similar to this. And Lance tore it out, got a work surface from Host, and he put a piece of plywood in here, covered it with carpet that pretty much matched pretty close, put a rod in and a curtain, because under here we keep our vacuum and things like that. Lance put a shelf in here for his laptop, personal laptop and work laptop. He has a keyboard, printer, everything just right here for him to work. And then all he's got to do is slide over his chair, and this chair is amazing, by the way. It actually folds. We store it right here and bungee cord it down. So that was a nice option. Lance runs the cord, the electric, right to there. So over here, we just decided to do a shoe rack. Simple little shoe rack. That way everything's right here. When we come in the door, we're just people that do not wear shoes in our house. And so over here with the kitchen area, we put in a water filtration system. What's it called?
Accuva.
Accuva.
Accuva 2.0.
So I'll show you when you turn it on, the little blue light comes on. And that's our drinking water. We don't have to buy or fill our water containers anymore.
It's mounted under there in the back. Turn it on. You see a light come on. So the water just runs through there and purifies it.
As far as any other upgrades, we have not had the time to put up backsplash. Under here, Lance put in, did you put this in? Or Lance put this additional receptacle in. Is my fancy lights.
Ran that so that we could run the Accuva and also some LED lights that we put under the counter.
We just put those under the counter here.
The sink is huge.
Yes, the sink is very
It's like
big.
a full farm sink, all one bowl.
Changed the faucet to a nicer faucet. I don't think we did too much as far as any other upgrades here. Oh, and Lance did, I work here. This is an adjustable, movable table. I work here during the week. I have a laptop and a dual screen. And then all I do is pull my cord out. Lance was able to set that all up so that makes it easy for me to pull my cord out and set up my my laptop.
Table's great. It swivels almost 360 degrees.
Yeah.
It moves back and forth, left to right, goes up and down 3 different positions. It's really a nice multi-use table. You can almost, if you put up this little fold-in countertop, you can almost get a whole U shape going with the table turned and that for the kitchen. So
one thing
for a small area, it's got a lot of room in the kitchen.
Right. One thing good about Host is that they have so many different options, and I'll touch on that real quick, that we had about 24 hours to make a decision on this camper. It fell into our lap, and we had to make changes within 24 hours from the previous couple that had put a deposit down on it, and it was ready to hit the assembly line. So we opted not to have a oven. Instead, we have this big monstrous drawer for my Instapot, electric skillet, and a little pot. We still have a stovetop here.
It doesn't get used.
Right. We don't
So
use that
that's our
much.
drying rack.
I didn't use it one time.
And a convection oven.
Yes, we opted to have a convection oven because I do my spaghetti squashes. We do have a RV refrigerator, propane and electric. It has been working great on propane. We keep track of the temperature, which I have been in and out of it just now, putting away Lance's stuff because he went Jeep in for the day. Upgrade in here. Sorry, it's packed full because we're boondocking. This was a coat closet only. And I scratched my head and talked to Lance and said, I need more space, especially for dry camping and going to be boondocking more. So he added these shelves, and this has been a game changer. This is awesome to stock up on all types of food, and it's just been a great upgrade. These little cute things are great. And we use them to get up into bed, and especially in the middle of the night. All the space these cabinets have is truly amazing. We use all kinds of little containers, Tupperware.
These cereal containers fit perfect in there.
We eat very healthy, so we have a lot of snacks. All this space is just...
Tons of pantry room.
It's awesome. All this. All stocked up because we're here dry camping. And this has cabinetry.
We opted not to get the fireplace so
Yes.
that we could have storage since we're full-timers. We wanted
Yes.
all the room we could get.
You have a stereo, speakers. This is awesome. USB. We charge our cameras and stuff here. And a cigarette. Lance added a Bose speaker to the TV. Here, our thermostat for heat.
We upgraded that because it came with one from looking like the 1960s.
It did.
It was a pretty sad, cheesy one that Host put in there, but we just upgraded to this Honeywell, and it works perfect. Got it on Amazon.
Yeah. Talk about this a little bit. The heating system is truly amazing. It roasts us out. We get up. We're on East Coast time, depending on the time zone. Sometimes 2:30 in the morning. Sometimes this time zone here in Quartzsite, Arizona, we get up at 3:30.
And we've been in the 20s already, and
not just talking about the heating part. These windows are double pane. I do not feel any drafts, and we have the sun shield reflective stuff that we paid for to put on the outside. I have not used reflectix in these windows, and it just makes me so happy because when we were in the Momentum, it was so drafty, or you could feel the heat coming in the windows. Here it's just amazing that we could have full 360 view, and you'll see all the windows in here. And this window, show on this is just amazing.
full length. It's like a 5 foot tall window, I believe.
Yeah. And what I loved about this rig too,
I mean, just
look at our view.
Look at that view.
Is that we have day and night shades, and we didn't have that in the Momentum, and we really like that as well. Let's see, and the couch here, the sofa folds down, and my son's already tested it out because he was at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. He flew in, slept on this couch. It's not the most comfortable, but he was able to sleep on it, and it's nice to be able to have company. This table goes all the way down. You can use it as a footstool. We have a little blanket we put over it, or you would have a little space to put your phone and whatever else while you're sleeping.
Or midway, like a coffee table.
Right, right. Anything else I missed here? Everything good?
I think that's pretty much everything in here.
Okay.
I'll touch on this later in the video, but we have our solar control or remote control here. Everything else that's up here came with the rig.
Panel. Here's your water pump.
monitor panel is nice because it gives you
you'll see
everything in percentages.
Yeah.
Rather than quarter, half, three-quarter, full.
Do you want to go through our tank sizes since you're here?
Sure. We've got 65-gallon fresh tank, 52 gray, and 36, I believe, black tank. But our black tank doesn't get really used.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I wanted to finish up by, in this area, this is amazing as well. Super quiet. We were in Pahrump when we had to move out of our big rig. We were in 115 degrees, and this thing kept this rig in the 70 degrees. And there's multiple settings. It does humidity settings. You can just have the fan. I mean, I was blown away with this rig in 115 degrees, how well it kept up.
It's a new AC unit from Rec Pro, branded as Houghton, Houghton.
Yes.
It's a 13,500 BTU, and it rocks it in here. And it has kind of a built-in soft start also, so you don't need to put a soft start in it. Runs awesome.
And another thing I liked about it too, the filter is right here, so we just vacuum this. We don't have to tear it out like in the Momentum. We had to tear down our filters, clean them, and wipe them. So this is pretty easy. Right now we got the vents closed, but they're all adjustable. We did get, it's not a fantastic fan, but it is a fan that does Max Air. And that works pretty well. So let's move on to the, nothing else, right? So upgrade, compost. I know it's high. There's nothing we can do.
It's up there.
This is our black and gray tank right in the slide. So the kitchen, the bathroom sink, and the toilet shared the same tank. We did not like that because it's in closed quarters and we live full time in this. We were smelling it pretty bad. And so we decided to just get a compost toilet. What's the brand name of this?
Ogo.
Ogo.
O-G-O.
Now what's great about it is that push of a button, no cranking. It's churning. The
auger spins for 45 seconds.
Right, and then you just pull this up, take your pee, dump it in a restaurant or, in a restroom with a bathroom. Or if you're boondocking and you're allowed to, you can dump it out on a bush or something.
The other thing nice about where that button is that button is actually lighted. And when the urine tank is full, it lights up. So it lets you know. It's a really nice design, European looking, very clean. You don't see all the workings of it. So we really like that.
Right. And with putting a trash can, we found a slim trash can. Lance came up the way, and the reason is one of our heating ducts is right here, so we had to come up with a way not to block it. And this worked out great to have this little trash can and a little tiny shelf to put it up on. What else do we do in here? New faucet.
Residential faucet.
Yes, residential. We put a backsplash. This backsplash we will be doing in the kitchen as well. We just have not had time. That'll be going up in the kitchen. So we did that. And then as you could see, this is the stuff we use.
Full of cocoa core.
Yep. Super easy. And then here is our space.
The space in all the areas is just amazing for a truck camper.
So with that said, we had a big, bulky wooden door here.
Trifold.
You can see it had a track, right? Well, I've stubbed my toe on it. It was loud. It was heavy. I didn't like the look of it. Some other people may love the look. So we came up with this idea. Now, don't get me wrong. Lance and I have been married how long? Not too long. Don't say too long.
Two? No.
We're going on 30 years. So we have been through the thick and thin, and there is no hiding stuff. So if you want to go do your business, you just shut the curtain. Some people have a problem with that. We do not. So we just got 2 curtains from Walmart and got the clips on Amazon, and it easily slides, and we love that. In here, the shower, we upgraded the shower head. We added a couple of little things, you know, to make it more comfortable. This is a little bit of a storage area for us, and this is all we have. Our laundry, our extra bath towel, and an extra heater in case we need it. That's a Dyson heater, and that's amazing. And then the shower, I don't want to pull it out too much.
It's got the self-closing, self-cleaning door.
Right. And then,
which works really well. We were kind of skeptical about it.
We do have a privacy door, and this is where this came in handy when my son came to spend a few days with us. And we have a privacy door with a mirror. There we are. So that's pretty cool.
Again, we got another one of those storage cubes.
Yes.
To store things, and it's a nice step to be able to get up to the bed.
Yes.
One of the things we liked about this rig was that it had this center area, which housed the shower, which we did not want to have a wet bath. So we got our dry bath, but it also separates the bedroom from the living room kitchen area, which is really nice.
Right. So one thing we loved about this rig is to have a little bit of privacy. Some truck campers, this whole bedroom is open wide. We didn't want that. We wanted to have a little bit of a separation difference. So, you know, up in here we have this is my side of the closet. Lance has his. Lance did put a frosted crystal on this because this was a mirror. I wasn't very fond of it. All these windows have the day-night shades. We got little baskets. This hides my belts and stuff.
Cross ventilation is...
Oh my gosh. A skylight that opens, we can totally close it. Or you can have a screen. Or when it gets warmer in Yuma, we are going to Yuma, it'll be warmer. You just open this up and it's wide open. You can see the stars and the moon. It's just truly amazing, and lets the light in here.
And we have a 13-inch mattress.
Yeah.
And still plenty of headroom. There is no feeling of claustrophobia in the bedroom. So under the mattress, what's required, not required, but our friends that have truck campers, we have a mat under here. You're not going to pull that up. That is to help aerate under the mattress to avoid mold and moisture. So we got one of those. And another nice find, one of our friends told us, this is called a Betty. And it's all connected. And it's good. It would be very hard to make a bed up here. And all you do is super simple. It's easy to wash. We've had this for going on 4 months, and it's been a godsend. And they come in colors and stuff. You can look for promo codes and stuff for these. And even if you don't have a truck camper, you may still want this, you know. And then also what we loved about this, you've got USB plugs, a shelf, lighting, which I love the reading lights here. And the reading lights have a USB also.
And we have a TV in here. And that's Lance's side of his closet there. So, and he's got where he hung up his hats and stuff, so... not too much going on in here other than we added this stuff here to get rid of the mirror part. But that's our interior of our host Mammoth. Oh, well, you did upgrade the fan. Oh, we did. Remember the fan? I don't remember the name of this. If anybody wants to know, they can ask, and I will look it up. It was from Amazon. It came with one of the little 4-inch fans in there, and this was just an easy insert to install. Didn't have to replace the entire fan. It was all done from inside. It took me 5 minutes. Also, Lance, same thing that we did in our big rig. We have, what do you call them? The detect leaks. They're spread throughout underneath. That's another positive thing about this rig is that compared to our Momentum, we can easily get to so many parts of this camper to make our own repairs, especially because we're full-timers. Everything's accessible. Right. So just so you know, a few upgrades that will be coming. We're going to put the backsplash up in the kitchen, and we are going to be changing our water heater out. We're having a little trouble with that, and we had to have a talk about that, whether we go all the way back to Mesa, Arizona with the time, the gas, the hotel, being out of the rig, or do we just upgrade it to a Truman Truma, the tankless water heater. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's up to Lance whether he wants to do it while we're out here dry camping all winter, or we can wait till we get back to Port Orladas and make that happen. But little tiny upgrades here and there as we live in it. We're making modifications to make it like home. Thank you.
All right, here we are outside. I'm going to do the outside since Flo did the inside because I did all the stuff outside. I did a lot inside too, but the inside's her deal, the outside's mine. So we have 8 215-watt solar panels on the roof, and I built a solar rack on top to get as many panels as I could because we don't have the real estate that we did on the fifth wheel. So we went from 12 panels to 8 panels, which really isn't too bad considering it's a truck camper.
I'm just going to pan around for you guys.
The 2 front ones are tilted by hand, but the 6 on the rack, I put 2 actuators on there with a remote control so I can remote tilt them from the ground. But I also added a couple of struts on the back side just to sturdy it for the wind. But it's been working beautifully. We are back to 100% from 60 to 70% overnight by noon, maybe 1 o'clock on a day like today where it's overcast. Been working beautiful. We're very happy with it. This side really doesn't have anything different than any other rig. You got your refrigerator and our water heater, and we have outdoor speakers.
Yeah, we added little things like the
bug shields,
little screen.
bug guards.
We did add a little tab on the door there to help open and
pop socket.
Yeah, a pop socket.
That's all it is a pop socket just to be able to
and then we added carpet here.
We always put carpet on. It helps get the
and
dust
we have
off
a
your feet. And
little step.
This is a must-have for truck campers because they sit so high, especially on the truck. Now, our rig came with slide toppers, and we removed them. We spend a lot of time out in the desert where it's windy, and they flap, they fall apart. We just didn't want them, so we actually removed those, and that's what those brackets up there are from.
So Lance is really good about any time we're ready to pack up and move. He goes up on the roof with his little blower and cordless blower, blows everything off, looks at the roof for cracks and any holes. And that's the part he did not like about the slide toppers, is that you really can't work on your seals or clean them or treat the seals. That's what we do. So
it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Back here we just got a ladder rack thing from Amazon to hang on there. And we put our extendable ladder and our little A-frame ladder on there.
And what's way up top there?
That's our weather station. Just put on 1 1/4 PVC. And from Stable Camper, I bought these little brackets with a rubber holder on it. Works great when we travel. I just bring it down so it's out of the wind, and I put it back up when we get to where we're going.
And up in that top part, that little black thing is our backup camera to keep an eye on Ruby while we're towing her.
So, speaking of Ruby, we added a Super Truss extension for our hitch from Torque Lift. It's a 42-inch. It put it at the perfect length. I'm glad I did the measuring myself. A lot of people get the 48, and if I would have gotten the 48 with the extra lift on Ruby, I had to get an extension for the hitch itself to raise it also. So that's a 10-inch extension, and it wound up putting it out farther. So I'm glad I only went with the 42-inch. But that thing's rated for, like, I forget what it's insane how much it's rated for weight-wise. I think it's like 30,000 pounds, the hitch itself, and once it's out like it is now, I think it's like 20,000 pounds.
And just keep in mind, this is everything we own.
Right.
Our house, our vehicles, so everything
is overdone.
Right. So it tows beautifully. I mean,
we have the Blue Ox Avail tow bar, which is rated for 10,000 pounds, and Ruby's only about 6. So again, we overdid it on that, but we're pulling that behind us. Here we've got 2 30-pound propane tanks, which is, again, for a truck camper is huge. We also added the quick disconnect so that we can use our grill outside easily. There's a hole and the hose just goes up inside. We can close it. It's nice having the
Good.
30-pound tanks. On all the landing gear, we have snap pads.
They're awesome.
Which is nice just for a little bit of stability. It doesn't give it much height, and I don't want the height actually, but it's nice. We've had it on every rig we've owned. This they normally call the morgue because it comes with a MORRIDE sliding tray, and for us to do our battery system, we would have had to cut it down because it goes all the way back, and it's a great system, but it just didn't work for us, so we actually tore it out.
And you can see why.
Less weight and we have more room, and I just carpeted the whole floor instead, because in the back there is the heart of our electrical system. We've got 3 270 amp hour Battleborn game changers.
I'm gonna zoom in, let you see those babies.
For 810 amp hours.
And we love Battleborn.
We have all Magnum components. I have a PT100 solar controller and a 3000 watt hybrid inverter. Everything is in the back there, nice and neat. And up here I have a Victron battery monitor just so that I can keep an eye on it on my phone.
So I see a lot of little things you've added and done stuff.
Yeah, so I added a little 12 volt little distribution block here for future stuff. What did I use it for? I used it for something. Oh, I think I used it for our controllers that we needed 12 volt for, so I ran that back. And I actually popped out from, this used to be the battery compartment from the factory, but we don't need it.
Storage.
So there was already some wiring there, so I just tied into it there.
It's great storage,
Yeah,
too.
we use it for our leveling blocks and stuff like that. But in here, we also added, it's called a IRVWC, I think it is, Intelligent RV Water Control. It's a little unit right here that ties into the water pump, and rather than surging when we turn things on, it does a whole bunch of other stuff, but the biggest thing it does is it quiets down the water pump.
You don't
the water
hear
pump just kind of kicks on, and then it's silent.
It's kind of like a little muffle.
That was a really nice upgrade.
Yeah, that
especially
was.
when it's right under where you're sitting. These are the water sensors that Flo was talking about earlier. They're made by Govee, Govee. Got them on Amazon.
And they work.
They work really well. They're Bluetooth, so you'll get an alert on your phone. But I put them under, some spots here and there where I would think there might be a leak. Under the water pump is one.
He keeps track of his temperature and stuff in here because of the batteries.
We added this fire extinguisher. It's an ABC. Most rigs, for those that don't know, only come with a BC. A is for wood, and I would think there's a lot of wood in an RV, so I upgraded all of them, and I added this one. I also have my Ryobi charger back here. I think that's all we did. We disconnected the converter that came with it because we have our own inverter charger, and I also added an inline Progressive Industries surge protector, so that always protects us. We don't have to worry about plugging one in at a campground.
And also, Lance, can you comment on the professionalism of Host?
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I noticed on the Host campers
See the
is
wiring.
the way that they ran everything. It's just so neat and tight and clean and tidy. It's the way that I would do the wiring. Our Grand Design had pretty much a spaghetti of wires. It was a little disappointing. As well as they build their rigs, they really just threw the wiring together, and this is just done so neatly. The downside to it is if you need to get into any of that wiring, it's tucked in so tight and clean that it's hard to get to. I did add just an LED light on the ceiling because the light back here is not lit up very well all the way back, so it does RGB. It's all the colors you want, but I usually just leave it on the blue.
And what's this?
This is for when we're in places where I need to get our Starlink antenna up higher. So we have over here the mounts. It's actually a WeBoost antenna, and there's a mount here and a mount higher that it just hooks onto. But we just have it out here in the desert. We just put it on the ground. So that's just a place to store that.
You want to talk about how you ran
this is
the
our
line?
sewer center, I guess you would call it. So this is for the black tank. There's our black tank exit. And there's a drawer up here just for, you know, gloves and things like that. This is actually a battery container that they turned on its side and stuck in here. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But I also ran our exhaust vent for the composting toilet out here, which is really nice because I didn't have to put a hole in the side of the rig, and this is already vented. So that vents right out. And I ran our Starlink wire cable from our router inside out to here. So when we pack up, this wire just gets coiled up and stuck in there. So that worked out really well. Black tank flush. I have quick disconnects on everything. So everything's easy to get to. I can hook hoses up, no problem.
Got the little bugger, keep the bugs out, bees.
As far as our tie downs, we have all torque lift stuff. So we have all the torque lift mounts to the body and the torque lift fast guns. Love these things. They're spring loaded. They're super easy to adjust if needed because every time you take it off, it changes. Underneath it here is the gray tank discharge. And I added, because it only comes with the sewer hose storage in here, it's not very long. I added another Valterra storage hose or storage pipe so that we have that extra one for if we're at a campground and it's a little farther away. Suspension wise, the only thing I have is airbags that I already had on the truck from when we had, and I added the torque lift, I think it's the what do they call them? Stable load on the top springs for the leaf pack. I did not do the bottom ones, and it's been running great. The other thing that we upgraded, but you're not going to see here, is right here. These are the Stable Camper stabilizers. So when the rig is taken off the truck, it's only on 4 stilts. This kind of triangulates the front 2 jacks so that it keeps it from moving this way and this way.
And we did see a difference.
This one comes down, hooks into here, and goes up. And there's another one that hooks into here and goes up that way. So there's four angles.
Right.
That really sturdies it up.
We tested it out when we were in Pahrump. We actually took the truck out and in a few times to get some practice, and we definitely could feel a difference.
So you can see from the back side here.
I gotta watch out for cactuses.
So that's the back side of the solar rack, and in the middle on both sides there are the actuators that are remote.
We're zooming in.
And then I put the 3 pieces of angle just to really sturdy it up for the wind. Normally it wouldn't be needed, but being in the desert, it can get pretty windy.
All right, so we talked about the storage area, right? How big it is.
It's
this,
pretty good size.
I'm going to show you in a minute. This all fits into here. And Lance built this framing to keep the containers from moving and hitting his precious battery bank back there. So we're going to show you that in a minute. All right, so all that stuff, and got to give kudos to Lance. He's a very good packer. And he got that from originally, we used to have a motorcycle, and we did a lot of motorcycle trips, didn't we, honey?
Yep.
And he could pack for a week and roll up the clothes and pack it in those saddlebags, and just look how organized this is. And he's got the most important stuff in the front, his tool, his hoses. So, and then only dilemma is the very back part, because we can't put this down all the way, is you need something to grab those back containers. And he's got his little fire pick that he uses. So that's what it looks like.
The key to this is containers. Containers and clear containers.
So you
because
can see.
It makes it easy. I can pull all this out in a matter of 30 seconds and put it all back in 30 seconds because it's all in containers. There's nothing really loose anywhere other than, you know, little things. All right, we also upgraded these to RV lock fasteners and locks because we wanted to be as key to like as we could. It already came with the touchpad RV lock on the entry door, so we had these key to like with that. The only ones we can't replace are these because RV Lock does not make this replacement lock.
Hint, hint, hint,
Yeah,
hint,
please,
RV Lock.
make these. We needed them on our Momentum on a couple doors, and now we need them on this. So I hope they do that because I like having it a little more secure. One other thing that we opted for, which was the beauty of getting this while it was still on the assembly line, we did not get the decals. I'm a sign guy. I know how long decals last. We're planning on keeping this for a long time and did not want peeling, faded, cracked decals. So we opted for it to be completely clear, other than they will not do it without the host logo. But that's not a big deal to me. The logos are fine.
So we have exterior speakers too, so we can hear some music while boondocking.
Now, going from our big 42-foot fifth wheel to this, we had lost a ton of storage. There's a lot of storage back there, but it's not quite enough for Fulltimers. So I removed our back seat in the truck because we never used the back seat anyway, especially with the Jeep. And I built two shelves.
Got this.
One that goes the full length here, and another one that's a step up. So we have space underneath to put our carpet rolled up. I have our water softener system all neatly stored in a milk crate so I can take it in and out, because on the last rig we had room for it to be hard plumbed. This one we do not. And we have a couple storage containers, and I have toolboxes on the other side. So that gave us that extra room that I was kind of missing.
And it's great what he did with the water softener, because we pulled up in quartzite. He hooked that up.
Oh, show them where the water fills right there.
Oh, it's right here.
So
super easy.
I literally hook it up to the water softener and fill it.
Yeah, pretty cool. And we do have an awning, by the way. A pretty big awning. Works really well. And we always put tire covers on to protect our tires, because they dry rot pretty fast out here in the West with the heat.
So I hope this was helpful for people that are looking at the Host Mammoth. We love it. We've been in it for 3 months so far. We just finally got out on the road after doing all our upgrades and swapping all our stuff and figuring out what we were going to keep and not keep and take with us. And it's been a great rig so far, and we are so looking forward to the adventures that we're going to have, being able to get to places like this, off the road, off the beaten path, by streams, up in the mountains, wherever, places we could not take our 42-foot fifth wheel. So that's our tour. Hope you enjoyed it.
All right, bye guys.